Virgo, this is your weekly astrology tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries. It is not time sensitive. You can go to the Virgo playlist and there are hundreds there that you can choose from. If a title calls to you, watch it. I do believe that when things are supposed to be a message for you, they will come to you. So thank you for watching with me right now. I am in a different environment. You can tell I'm visiting my son in Florida. I'll be home at the end of this week. So thank you so much for watching. I do have a new astrology channel. It's called Astrology Motivation, and I encourage you to subscribe. I will attach the link above. That's where I house my weekly astrology forecasts, as well as my astrology motivation videos. So more content for astrology that I couldn't squeeze over here on Born Without Boundaries Tarot. So go please enjoy that. And let's get into your reading. Virgo, this is a transformative period. I say that because every reading that I've done for the past 2 weeks has been really intensely powerful transition based. As well, I know that Pluto went into retrograde last week, and that is an extraordinarily transformative position for it to be in, and it's going to be transforming until it's going to be in retrograde until the end of this year. What I noticed was that it's transforming between the two Venus controlled signs. So we started retrograde in Taurus, and then it comes out of retrograde and goes direct in Libra. So what does Venus really rule over? Well, she rules over love, romance, relationships, and financial relationships and interactions. So there's a transformative period happening in love and romance and money, and any, especially interactions between those two. Yeah, so keep a tight watch on that. And just know that there's restructuring going on. We have the Battle of the Blues, taking steps toward positive change. Okay? This is a really transformative card. It's very Plutonic in that Plutonian, I don't know what this is. It's very Pluto energy. Whereas how sadness can teach you how to be stronger, or sadness can motivate you into doing something that maybe you never thought you were going to be capable of doing, but how sadness or disappointment can be a transformative quality or experience that can motivate you to do things differently. So this is definitely a sense of, because I feel the power in you, Virgo. I can feel that there's just this essence of, I don't feel right, I'm not as happy as I should be. Now I want to go introspective and look to see what's going on. And I know that that's fueled by Mercury being in Gemini now. It's a very strong position for it. Aside from you, it's its other domicile, which means it's very intellectual. It's very thought-oriented. So it's sort of superpowering your thought process to be the observer, to be the analyzer, to be more analytical over emotional. And I think that's the best thing for you right now. Letting go, learn to let go. Sometimes it's our expectations that have put roadblocks to our manifestation and to our potential. What are the expectations? What are the things that you need to just not be mad about anymore and forget about? Forgiveness is about untethering yourself from the pain of something in the past. That's what it's about. So there's that introspection and why you're going through it right now. What do I need to just let go? Without any expectation of retribution, or because it doesn't matter. What matters most is that it's out of your life, so it's not bringing you down or sucking your energy away. You are fully capable of recovering any kind of resource loss, Virgo. You are highly adaptable to getting things done. So you don't need to worry about that at all. What the concern should be is what's draining your energy as you try to replenish it, because that's putting you into this cycle of treading water where you're spending all this energy to get nowhere, right? So that's where this comes in, the sense of, well, what's draining me? Because what's draining me, if I block up those holes, now I'm not losing water anymore, and every time I fill up, I keep what I make. Like that's the important process going on in your life right now. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. I am connected. There's a childlike innocence here. I'm dropping a lot of cards this week. That's just because I'm just in a different place. I am connected. Seeing those little things with a childlike innocence, maybe things that you haven't noticed since you were a child, will help to connect you and ground you and not tether you, root you, right? Those simple joys, those simple pleasures, looking at the details in this joyous way. It's also saying that look at the details, because the details are, and you're very detail oriented. So in particular, it's in the details where you're going to find your answers. And then we have, I am a child. I am connected. I am a child. 2 innocent cards. So this, for some of you, could denote that there may be a new child coming into your life. You're interacting with children all the time, or you just have a sense of freshness, because after you let go, there's an innocence about you. There's no more concern, no more jadedness or anything bringing you down. And then I am cherished. Super, super warm energy, like 4th house energy of being loved, being connected, loving your children, being around your children, and drawing power from that, as well as being loved and connected to another adult. I am cherished. Yeah, feeling loved. So there's good stuff happening all around you. I feel like there's just a warm familyness around you right now. Could even be the love of this person is helping you to rejuvenate, if not procreate, literally. We'll get into it. By the way, Virgo, there's always an extended reading. You guys know that. The link is below. It's 2 readings in one. It's your extended reading, which extends and expands upon this message. It really articulates details, sometimes even times and dates. And then also your Virgo specific romance reading is over there as well. Suffering in silence. So we got a kind of an essence double whammy here. What are you worried about? What are you concerned about? Maybe you're pregnant and you're not telling somebody, or maybe you're worried that you won't get pregnant. Maybe there's a concern about a child in your life, whether it be your child or just a child that you care for. A concern that you're not telling somebody. You're worried about it. Maybe you're worried about something coming out, pretending like something is okay when it's really not okay. Right? Keeping all those things to yourself, obstacles and challenges. So there is some sort of obstruction or challenges that you're starting to see that are concerning you, but you haven't really told somebody. Maybe you feel like if you tell somebody, it will ruin the happiness, because you think this happiness is based on sort of like this ideal situation where everything's innocent and everything's new, everything's pure. Maybe everything is literally too new in this relationship for you to feel like you can go into depth like this. Or it's just you feel like everything's so good right now, I don't want to talk about the worries. I don't want to bring the worries up. You're right in that when you bring worries up, they just get bigger, and worries really aren't, worries aren't necessarily always significant. But this is not just a worry. This is something that your astute observation is seeing. And what you really at least need to do is write it down. Writing is a really good way. Virgo, you're ruled by Mercury. Writing is a really good way for you to, like the first step for you to take to make thoughts or feelings tangible, right? To put it down and be able to put it in some sort of order. Writing requires that. You have to put it in letter order and then word order, right? And so this is going to really help you take that first step into getting it outside of yourself and then being able to handle it objectively. And then we have wisdom, okay? What you have learned and the strength that you can draw from what you have learned. Not just necessarily the past, but what you've learned from the past, from the lessons you've gained, how the past has become a whole part of you because of the lessons that you've learned. And are those lessons good lessons or bad lessons, right? Because we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. All the lessons that we learn are not always good lessons, right? Sometimes they're fear-based, right? Sometimes they're prejudice-based. Like we're kids when we learn them, we don't even know it. Our parents teach us this shit, and you know, we're letting it guide our lives, and like it turns out to be a bad lesson. So this is a really great time, especially with Pluto in retrograde, to be combing through the lessons that you've learned and the thoughts that you think, to say, are these serving me really? Or are they holding me back and just making me afraid? And then we have financial and material changes. So there could be, this doesn't necessarily mean something's wrong. It just means something's changing, and the change itself could be making you extremely uncomfortable. Once again, writing things down is going to help you a great deal, help you organize. It's going to help you. And I think in this process, you should consciously be aware, I'm not just doing this to organize and control. I'm doing this to help me. I'm doing this to help this be tangible and put into a form where I can be more comfortable with it, so that I dissipate the worry and I get rid of the worry and I just start problem solving. Like that's what's coming through right now. Just trying to give you some suggestions too, Virgo. Your hard work is paying off. That's encouraging. And that flew out, I didn't even see it. So what that tells me is, because for me and the way that I read the cards, I don't just read the cards, I read how the cards are communicating with me, like how they fly out, how they behave. That's just part of my style of reading. Other readers don't have that. It's not an essential, but I do. And the fact that this card snuck out tells me that you could be doing better than you think, right? That you could be worrying, number one, for no reason, or just because you're over analyzing a situation. Your hard work is paying off, which means there is progress here. And this is Capricornian energy. So it means it's happening in the 3D world. It's not just conceptual or emotional. It's definitely that your hard work is paying off in the 3D. It's manifesting. So you are doing a good job. And it's probably better than you thought, since this card just snuck out. Maybe you're not paying enough attention to what you have achieved up until now, right? A really great thing to do at this time with this card coming out the way that it did is simply say, turn around and look how far you've come. Turn around and look at what you've achieved. Maybe make a list of your accomplishments to remind yourself you are not where you started, and you're not falling back there. You're not going to lose this ground. You may have to pause where you are for a while, and you may see people rushing past you because they're at different phases in their life. But Virgo, that doesn't mean you're losing ground. You still have what you have, and you will proceed and progress when you have the resources and are prepared to take those next steps. Don't let your past hold you back. This is really interesting, this card coming out. First of all, you do have to get out of your comfort zone. Every time the South Node card comes up, I ask, well, what is your comfort zone? What is your South Node? If you can, go check it out on free natal charts. I use cafeastrology.com, but there are so many of them. No, that's not a paid promotion. I always use it. So Google, you'll find free natal charts. Find out where your South Node is. This could be a really good time to go in depth where your pitfalls are specifically. But South Node energy is, in general, is where do you feel comfortable? Because your comfort zone isn't helping you out right now. It's not challenging you, and it's not helping you make any progress. And if you are stuck in a rut, it may be because all of this worry pushed you back into just doing what's safe for you. And this is not a safety time. This may be a time to clear out that safety zone. And realize, tangibly be able to see, wow, this really is not working for me, right? Okay, there is a little bit of somebody being in trouble, maybe you being in trouble. So this is the essence of ask for help. Don't be so prideful that you don't want anybody to see that you are confused. Ask for help. Opening ourselves up to other perspectives is one of the quickest, fastest, and best ways to fucking, get help for problems that we can't see. Like, don't let pride get in your way. Admit when you need help And then, or you're dealing with somebody who has a hard time admitting that they need help, or even speaking and saying that they need help. This could just be you on the opposite side, giving help where it's needed. But learn from that. Learn from that, because if you can see that somebody needs help without asking it, then maybe one of your friends or somebody that loves you can also see that you need help when you can't ask for it. And so allow them to. Allow, like, help and allow yourself to be helped. It's a give and take. A lot of us get stuck on one side or the other. We're always, either some of us are always giving help, right? And then it's impossible for us to ask. Or some of us always want help, and we're not solving problems on our own. So it's easy to get stuck in one of those two extremes. So this is just about helping fluently. If you see it could be a child. This is a reoccurring theme. Your child may need help. There may be some concern about a actual literal child needing help, right? Okay, that could be part of the concern. This could have something to do with friends, play, worried about socialization, worried about, do you have friends? Am I stuck alone? Is one of my problems loneliness and isolation? I'm not having enough people around me? Because this is your friends having your back, right? And being there for you and wanting to take care of you, right? And maybe you feel in some ways like there's not enough people helping you out. Yeah, this is about letting go. Sea of love. There's beautiful things that want to come into your life, but the past and the emotions from the past are making you hesitant to trust. This is a time to trust. It's a time to realize that this is just trying to drown you, and it's not going to get you anywhere. This beautiful breeze is blowing blessings in. I will say this. Venus, at least until next week, is also in Gemini, which is a wonderful place. It's right there with Mercury. So there's this wonderful essence of being able to understand and open up, talk to people, exciting, intellectual stimulation, all of those things, really blessings that are trying to come your way. Don't let your past hold you back. Resolution is here. So being able to conquer something that's caused you a great deal of fear, probably like this, right? A great deal of fear that could be fear-based. So it's resolving those issues, being fair, talking to somebody, just because something ends doesn't mean it has to end badly, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to end, but this is definitely a time for, I apologize, that's distracting. Hold on. About that, I had to close the door because it was too distracting. Jade Mountain is here. That Jade Mountain means there's abundance coming in, and that you've earned this abundance, and that maybe you don't feel like you've earned it, but the abundance is coming in. There's just it's lush, it's fresh, it's beautiful, and it's reliable, right? Resolving this abundance. Now, it may be hard to let something go. It may be hard to say goodbye to what was once. Only because you believe that that's as good as it can get. Maybe this is stuff from childhood that you like idealize, and you're like, okay, this thing from childhood is as good as it can get, and that's just not true. Life is constantly changing and constantly flowing, and resolution could just be you realizing and looking at all these blessings and understanding that this is now a period to move on to new blessings. Virgo. What does Virgo need to know? Okay. Ship and tree. Oh, so this is, you might have to travel or go somewhere or travel for something that's health related, or it could just be it's time to travel for your health. Like this healthy sense of travel and what travel can do. Maybe even a getaway that you're going to. Now, in some extreme situations, it could be having to travel somewhere to see a specialized doctor. But I think in general, it's more travel right now would be healthy for you to get out and do stuff. Like, in other words, travel is becoming healthy again. If you look at this in the broad spectrum, you could see this as sort of a tag on to COVID. As the world is starting to open up again, maybe you can get out more and go places, go camping, get back into nature. It's healing. In other words, it's once again a tangible way that you can help move yourself and get you out of a stuck mindset by seeing a different place or exposing yourself to a different place. It's actually like helping you realize how differences and changes can be good. Okay. Books, learning. This is really beautiful. Now, this also is very Virgo energy, right? So it could just be literally telling you, Virgo, it's time to get out of your comfort zone and time for you to travel. I know you like to be rooted. I know you like to stay in one place, but it's time to move around. You could be researching, exploring, learning, and saying that travel is an opportunity for learning right now, that books only go so far. And yes, I know that you could get lost in books, and that's wonderful, but what's even more wonderful is to see and experience things for yourself. So travel is an opportunity for you right now. Let's go into your animal totems, Virgo, animal totems. Animal totems are extremely important. Guys, if you like this message so far, please do like and share this video, and then subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ring that bell and hit all notifications so you know when I upload your favorite content. Virgo, your messages come out every single Friday with Cancer and Leo. Virgo, these are extremely important messages because this is how the spiritual world uses the natural world to communicate with you, which means traveling or getting back to nature is super important right now. It's not just interaction directly with the actual animals. It could be their signs, logos, images, things like that. So you have flamingo, embrace the in-between. So embrace the right now, this period of transition. Embracing the transition will help you not to fight against it, so you're not wasting your energy, right? This sense of, okay, things are changing. That's what it's saying. Embrace the change. Embrace that things are transforming and different things are happening. And I can find my balance here as well as I've found my balance elsewhere. And then when the transition is over, I'll find my balance in that new place. This is a beautiful time of realizing that the transition, as much as it makes you uncomfortable, is also a sign of growth, a sign of accomplishment. And then we have nothing is wasted. Everything from the past has taught you a lesson. There's also vulture energy, tells us treasure in a trash heap, right? Find the good parts about this. It may be difficult, but Spirit is saying there is great parts about this. In fact, the things that you'll find now are things you can only find now, are things you'll only have access to right now, right? There's no other time that you're going to have access to this treasure. So pay very attention, especially to the details, because through this transformative time are short periods of time, and they're unique, right? So we go between, like, transitions happen in short bursts, and then we have long stretches of solidarity. So this is actually a very unique time. So treasure these moments, right? So, so treasure these moments. Let's get into your angel cards, Virgo. Angel cards for Virgo, please. This could also be your mentality, is you're already trying to treasure these moments because you already don't want to let something go. But treasuring something isn't necessarily not letting it go. It's learning from it, so you never remember. The one thing you never have to let go of is a lesson. So if you've learned from something, that's a part of it that you can carry with you forever, and that you do carry with you forever. Education and learning is the ultimate way to never have to let something go. As long as you've learned something, it's now become a part of you. Wisdom. Everything has a place and a purpose. To be wise is to have great love tolerance, and compassion for things. This is the second time you've gotten wisdom. And wisdom is that incorporation of the lessons into your whole self. Wisdom is that transformative essence of you that is transformed by the people you've met and the lessons you've learned by interacting with them and the lessons you've learned throughout life. That is what wisdom is, because wisdom holds no anger. It holds no aggression. It holds no regret. It has learned. So it knows that there's stability in that. Precious strength, precious gift, friendship, family, and love are precious gifts. Do not lose sight of what is most important, especially as things change and transform. This is most important. In other words, prioritizing a sense of love over a sense of even duty or payback. It's just prioritizing love. Sacred source, we, your angels, are here to remind you of your magnificence. You are literally an angel in the making, a being of eternal love and light, forever one with God, Goddess, and all creation. That's beautiful. Let's go over to tarot. The link is below. I'll see you guys over there.